Hey guys, so I thought I'd just have a bit of a chatty video today about how May's reading went and how I intend to do better in June. So you should have already seen my May reading wrap up be uploaded, and I mentioned in that video that I only managed to read 7 books, which for me was quite disappointing. And what actually happened is I read 5 books in the first 12 days of May, and then I just stopped reading. A big reason for that was, well, firstly, I was watching the new season of Game of Thrones, no spoilers here, and I've not really enjoyed Game of Thrones for the last few seasons, so I wasn't particularly upset about the way it was going because it was what I expected. But one day, I think we were like 3 episodes from the end, I was like, I think I'm just going to start rewatching it because I know it was brilliant, and why waste my time with these episodes and feel sad about it when I could just go back to the start and love it all over again. So I went back and basically got really hooked and was like watching like several episodes a night and just didn't have any time for reading. So that was one part of it. You know, I'm at season 3 at the moment. I've watched a lot of episodes, and I started watching Fleabag and just, you know, been watching a lot of TV basically. So that's one thing. Another thing was that I wasn't like loving the books I'd been reading in May, and I think sometimes when you read a lot of like 3-star books in quick succession, you then don't feel particularly inspired to pick up any books because you're like, oh, you know, like, why spend my time, like, not that I don't enjoy 3-star reads, but when you just want a book that you love and you're not getting one, it can be a little bit like uninspiring. So I think a combo of those two things came together. And so I spent a lot of time watching TV, and I was going to bed earlier than usual and getting like 8 hours of sleep on a work night, which is unheard of in my life, and actually was quite pleasant. So yeah, all that happened, and towards the last like week of May, I was actually thinking, you know, I feel like I want to get properly back into my reading. I feel like I could really commit, and what I want out of my reading is to be so into a book that I like walk through to the kitchen holding it when I'm gonna make dinner, and like while something's being stirred or something like that, I'm even when I know I have 2 minutes to spare and it seems silly to get into a book, I want to. That's how I wish for my reading to be all the time, and so often it isn't. So the last week of June I was feeling more like I was ready to get back into books, but I had in my head that it was best to like start a new month fresh. And so I thought I'm going to wait until June rolls around to like properly commit to being a hardcore reader again. And then I had a bit of a low few days towards the end of May, like I guess like the last like Monday and Tuesday of May. And on Tuesday at work after the bank holiday, I felt really sorry for myself, and I crumbled at about 11 o'clock and went on Amazon and ordered myself 7 books that I didn't need. Now, number one, I don't feel guilty because I felt really fucking low, and I felt significantly better once I knew I'd bought myself some books and treated myself. And number two, I felt excited because I'd seen people review some of these books that I bought and be really positive, like only the day before, and it felt really exciting to like act so quickly on a bookish thing, which sounds silly, but a lot of the time I'll hear people talk about a book and I'll put it on a list and I won't buy it until like 4 months later. So when I read a lot of new releases, that's just based on publisher buzz. It's not common for me to hear someone else on BookTube or a friend rave about a book and just instantly get it. So that was really exciting. So yeah, that's what I did, and I'm very happy about it. So yesterday I was thinking about like different things I could do in June in order to make my reading like more exciting, and also to make sure I read lots. So one thing I'd already been thinking about is I'd seen quite a lot of people recently do try chapter tags, and I always mean to film try chapter tags, but they always take so long because actually to read the first chapter of 5 books sometimes feels like a bit of a waste of time, because you know that could be a couple of hours worth of reading but you've not actually like got through a significant portion of one book. So I end up not doing them even though I always want to. But when I've been watching people recently do them, I've just been enjoying them so much and really want to get back into them. And what I've seen people do recently is try chapter tags, specifically books they're not exciting about, and so the aim is to unhaul some of them, and then the ones that you want to keep, be excited about them again. And I think there's enough books on my TBR that I feel a bit like unsure about to do that with. So this morning I went through my bookshelves and I found 15 books that I'm like unsure if I want to read, and also sometimes a bit intimidated by because maybe they arrived and the writing style is a little bit harder than I thought it would be. So I have a stack of 15 books. My plan is to try and do 3 try chapter tags this month, and you know, see how many I end up unhauling versus keeping. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy those videos. I loved them. So yeah, I want to try and do more of them. And then I'm hoping once I've done that, maybe in July I could do some try chapter tag videos actually to pick my next read, like on books I'm actually really excited about. That's the plan. So there's that I'm going to do this month. The other thing that I'm going to try and do, which I'm really excited about, is I decided, so 4 of the 7 books I ordered arrived yesterday and the other 3 are due to arrive tomorrow. And I thought to myself, you know, you're really excited about all these books. It's a really nice mix of books, and I feel like they could all be like not super difficult reads. In terms of, I think there could be books that I would happily sit and read for like 2 hours in the evening without stopping. So I decided to challenge myself to read them all this month. Now, I know, revolutionary idea, but as we all know, people who have very big stacks of unread books, it's not common to buy yourself a load of books and then read all of them. Usually, you can look at your shelves a year, 2 years later, and there's still, you know, depending on what type of reader you are, there's still some of those books left. So I've decided to tell myself all 7 have to be read. So rather than do a traditional book haul, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you those 7 books like briefly, not talk about them very much, and then every time I finish one I'll put a little vlog clip in and you can see me actually finish it in that month, and I can update you with how I'm going and, like, you know, how it feels to ride the wave of new book excitement and actually read them. So I've already started one of them, I'm loving it, and I'm just really happy and excited about giving this a go. As always, I'm not doing so well on my challenges, so you may know that I now do quarterly challenges. Every 3 months I come up with a new set of challenges to focus on, and I've not done so well, particularly because May was not a great reading month, and so it was hard in 7 books to hit all my challenges, but I still want to hit those challenges. So what I need to do is I need to have a look at how April and May went, and then work out how behind I am, and then sort of just write myself a note of those challenges I need to hit. So I'm not going to make myself do them if it puts me off reading, but if I can incorporate them into this reading excitement, then I will, because I would like to get to the end of June and actually have achieved my goals. And then I'm still unsure about what I'm going to do for July. Like, part of me thinks I might just have a month in July where I completely focus on books that are new to me this year, so I can, because I've got up to about 50 or 60 unread books that are new in this year already, which is bad. So I'm thinking about like just hitting that hard in July and trying to get that down for August, but we shall see how I feel by the end of June. That's something I'm considering. Let me know if you have any tips and tricks when you have a month where you just want to read loads, and also, yeah, just let me know what your plans are for June, if you have any, and if you have been, like, you know, loving your reading lately, or if you've been a little bit slumpy. I'd love to know your thoughts and how your start to, is it the start of the summer yet? I don't think it is yet. I think it's like towards the end of June. Yeah, I don't know. How are you enjoying the weather where you are? Because obviously in some parts of the world you're now having winter. I'm jealous of you. I don't like summer. I already have a bit of sunburn, and I got up this morning and I was like, Johnny, have I got some sort of cut here because it really hurt? And then I realised, no, that's because you walked outside for 2 hours yesterday in like the blazing sun with no shade and you didn't put suntan lotion on. That would be why that hurts. Although the one thing I am loving about this time of year, which is really childish of me and just really like unnutritious, is Tango ice blasts. I don't know if they're like a thing all over the world. They're like slushy fizzy drinks. I love them, and I got one yesterday as I was walking through the city, and I felt a little bit embarrassed walking through the city because I thought to myself, you get away with it in the cinema, they sell them at the cinema here, and you get away with it because you're all in the dark and like everyone gets them when they're watching a film. But actually I feel like an adult walking through the city drinking a Tango ice blast is a little bit pathetic. So I was slightly ashamed, but I also really enjoyed it, so pros and cons. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!